Hello and welcome back to Tales of Lumin. Today we're talking about World of Warcraft, and today I gotta say that the news that I'm discussing could potentially even be interesting to anyone out there, anyone that's a gamer interested in perhaps MMOs or games like World of Warcraft, just because you'll see why in a minute. Usually it's like a new mount, balance changes, a new looking for raid wing or something like that that just World of Warcraft players would be interested in. This time around, not really. They gave us a lot to think on for the holiday season, for the Christmas holiday period, and, well, I'm excited. Okay, how could I not be? So, there was a forum post recently discussing World of Warcraft in the new year. I've got the bullet points here of what they mentioned. I read through the post a couple of times to make sure I wasn't dreaming, because there are some big announcements, like I said. So, they first discussed what had already happened, and that's basically just Warlords of Draenor launch, the 10-year anniversary, which is still running. You can still do Molten Core, South Shore versus Terran Mill, all that other stuff. It's still there. You can still get the Core Hound mount, the Molten Corgi pet. It's pretty cool. It really is. If you haven't done it yet, check it out. I think they sent 10 days of free game time to a lot of people. So there's your opportunity to check Warlords of Draenor out, if you haven't already. There was the pet for charity, which is called Augie or something. It's a little space goat. Kind of cool. The Looking for Raid Wings opened, and High Maul obviously launched. Like the normal, heroic, and mythic version. I suppose on top of that, High Maul mythic was cleared. Interesting story that apparently the guild that cleared it third in the world. So does Paragon, someone else, two big name guilds, and then there was a Chinese guild third, and I've been told that they cleared it with full, like, item level 700 gear, Blackrock Foundry gear. That's gear from a raid that's not even out yet. It's apparently coming out in February, and they got this gear by abusing the black market auction house. So they transferred all their characters from their main server to different servers, smaller servers that didn't have as large populations, and then on those servers they camped the black market auction house and they bought all these Blackrock Foundry items that were up for sale there for, I guess, a ton of gold. Then they, after collecting those items, transferred back, and then they were fully geared and they could easily take out Mythic. It's interesting. It's an interesting way of doing things. Some people were angry, some people didn't really care. I'm in the latter category. It doesn't really bother me. I think it's what is the term that they use? Creative use of in-game mechanics or something like that. I don't know. Whatever, okay. They spent a lot of real money and in-game gold to make it happen, so kudos to them. Kudos to them. Now, before I continue off on this tangent, the features planned for 6.1's PTR, they were the focus of this forum post, and there's a lot of really cool stuff. Firstly, there's going to be a legendary follower that you'll be able to acquire through the legendary quest line. So currently the quest line isn't that long. You get a item level 680 ring from it, and I suppose that's pretty much it for now. The ring will only be upgraded to legendary probably closer to the end of the quest line, much like the Mists of Pandaria legendary cloak quest line, but we were told that in 6.1 a follower will be coming to it, and that's pretty much all they told us. They didn't say who it's going to be, if Horde and Alliance get different followers. Maybe it's going to be Archmage Khadgar. That's a possibility. Maybe the Alliance get Urel, and the Horde get their equivalent, Duratan. I don't know who the Horde equivalent is, okay? I haven't played through the Horde story, but could be something like that. Could be someone completely different. Maybe it's one of the NPCs that are standing around your base. It's a cool idea, though. I mean, we've got up to Epic now, so it would be nice to get a legendary follower. And I'd love to see what they do with the legendary followers. What extra stuff they get. Could be fun. Would be nice if you could use that follower as a bodyguard as well. Anyway. The ability to send tweets from in-game. I think that's a really cool idea. I think that putting stuff like that into the game is firstly really good for the promotion of the game, but secondly, it's also just good for the community. You know? If you can send tweets out from in-game, then you'd probably be more willing to spend that tiny little bit of time doing it, because not a lot of people want to press print screen, then go to their screenshot folder, then, like, I don't know, rename it, and then like put it somewhere where they can find it, then go into their Twitter and click add image, then type something, then click on tweet after adding their hashtags and stuff. You can do all of that from in-game. I think it would be great. It would be really great. Maybe they add a Twitter streaming game as well, so you could see your, I don't know, feed in there somewhere. It would be weird, but it would be cool. Okay, so I like the idea. Better flight path routing. I don't know why they even mentioned that. That is something that you should rather keep on the down low. Doesn't really matter to me. I mean, I haven't really had problems with flight path routing at all. Then, this is the big one. Okay, tradable game time tokens that you can sell to other players for gold. You're going to be able to buy your subscription with gold, in-game gold. You won't have to pay the monthly subscription if you have enough gold to spend, and I think that is so good. It's about time. So a couple of other games already do this and do it well. EVE Online is the first one that comes to mind with their Plex system. It works nicely. I mean, they allow players to trade it with each other, buy it with real money, sell it for in-game money. It's cool. Okay, so for World of Warcraft, what's going to happen is they'll probably allow you to buy it and then sell it on the auction house or something. So they'll put a specific tab in the auction house that you can check for that. And I think it's really nice because people with real money will then be able to get in-game gold legally. They'll be able to buy a bunch of these tokens with real money. Then they'll be able to sell it in-game for gold to players. And then the inverse is also possible. So people who perhaps don't have as much money but have a lot of time, they could make all the gold they need to buy their game time. I do, however, think that Blizzard might need to do something to control the value of it somehow, because I think it'll devaluate really quickly and you'll be able to get game time for a steal. But at the same time, it would have had to have been bought for the original price at some point, so they're getting the same amount of money, so it doesn't really matter. I don't know. I don't know how they're going to do it yet, but it is incredibly interesting to me that they finally decided to do this, and I'm super keen to see how they decide to do it, because it's something that I think the game needs and or needed. It's something that World of Warcraft, I think, needed to do to stay relevant, and it's a big deal. If you thought Warlords of Draenor would have been the big boost World of Warcraft needed, like the biggest boost for the next who knows how long, you're wrong, because this is going to bring a lot of new people to the game. A lot of people. A lot of people just don't want to play because they don't want to pay the subscription fee, so if they can play a whole lot and make it pay for itself, they'll be really happy. And I will just say again, I don't think that the in-game time is going to be worth all that much in-game. So your subscription fee won't cost you that much gold. Eventually. At first it's going to be super expensive, but it will devaluate eventually. It will probably settle at a certain amount, and that'll be that. But I'm excited. I think it's great that they decided to do this. I'd love to hear what you guys think about it. Is it a good thing? Is it a bad thing? WildStar did it. They didn't do too well, sadly. I don't know what's happening with WildStar right now. I just know that it's not quite what it used to be. There aren't that many people playing it, but they had the cred system, and it worked. It did. And EVE Online does it really well with their Plex system, so I think, if anyone, Blizzard can do it right. But, moving along, Garrison improvements. Apparently there are going to be profession missions for your followers to do. There are going to be new invasions, a new tier of invasions above the current ones. You should now be able to protect your garrison against a world boss of some sort, which sounds pretty exciting. I mean, if I'm not mistaken, it's still just going to be for 3 players. Then, on top of that, they said there's going to be a lot of new co-op stuff that you can do with friends. They're going to incentivize visiting your friends' garrisons, doing things with them, and I think that's really cool. Garrisons are probably the one thing that's keeping a lot of people super excited, super interested, super into the game at the moment, just because of how fun they are, how much there is to do, and all that other good stuff. I mean, I love it. I love garrisons, follower missions, the ease at which you can collect stuff now, like the mining and herbalism stuff, all of it, okay? I love just hanging out in my own garrison, seeing my followers and stuff there, it's cool. Then, the long-awaited heirloom tab is coming, and they gave us a few details about this. So you're going to be able to add all the heirlooms you currently have to the tab, and then you're going to be able to buy new ones with gold, then upgrade them with tokens. Now, I'm not sure where the tokens will come from, but, you know, you're going to be able to upgrade them all now, not just select ones, and they're going to have, I think, new ones as well for, like, the specs and classes that didn't quite have their own heirlooms. So it's kind of cool. It's going to be nice to level alts once that's out. Then there's some esports stuff about online tournaments and a new observer UI, which I didn't quite understand, so I didn't bother, well, I don't know, making too many notes about it here. But basically, the skirmish mode is apparently helping out to set up online tournaments now. I'm not quite sure if they were trying to say that they're going to add automated or player-run in-game tournaments to the game, but it may have been hinted at. It may have been, because they actually linked to the StarCraft 2 article about the in-game tournaments. Oh, there you go. Blood Elf models, and some new fixes and changes to some of the other models. Apparently something was wrong with the Night Elf run animation, so they updated that, they changed that. And obviously people have been waiting for the new Blood Elf models for quite some time, so they're getting that in 6.1. Then there are going to be some expansions and fixes to Ashran, because, well, it needs it. Ashran is a bit of a mess still. It's like a month after launch, and it's still a little frustrating. Let me just say that. I play a lot of Ashran, and whenever I go in there, there's always something that's just irritating me, like the Horde being able to pull the Alliance boss around the back wall of their base to the bridge and, like, out past everyone. They can pull the boss around the back and then just kill it without the Alliance even doing anything about it. I think that the Horde bridge, or no, the Alliance bridge, one of the bridges is just much more difficult to cross. The graveyard in the middle of the map just doesn't seem to want to work. There's a lot of stuff that they need to work on and fix and change. I'm glad they're working on it, okay, because Ashran is a great idea. It really is, and I do enjoy most of my time in there, but there are some still some little frustrations that they need to fix. Then finally, Blackrock Foundry is coming in February, which is also kind of cool. Again, keep in mind what I said before about the people having full Blackrock Foundry gear. It's a big deal. The raid is still 2 months off, if not more. It's a big deal. So Blackrock Foundry in February. I think on January the 7th or something like that, the final Looking for Raid Wing opens up. So that's also happening. But World of Warcraft in the new year. Sounds like there's a lot of cool stuff coming. I hope that World of Warcraft in 2015 is going to be as crazy cool as it was in 2014. Because obviously, Warlords of Draenor, brand new, fresh expansion. It's something that's been a long time coming, and they did it right. So if they do 6.1 as well as they did Draenor, just the expansion on the whole, the launch of it and everything else, then I think we're in for a treat. And if they manage to get all the stuff in, oh my goodness, it's going to be the best patch ever. So yes, again, I'm excited. I do think that a prediction or two in order. I think that we're going to see either a teaser or an announcement of the next World of Warcraft expansion at BlizzCon 2015. And that's really cool. Again, very exciting, because they said they wanted to speed the expansion process along a little bit, like speed it up a bit, get the expansions coming out a little quicker, so that they don't have the Mists of Pandaria problem, where expansion is literally 2 years long or longer, where they have one raid running for a full year. That was too much. That was too much Siege of Orgrimmar. Okay? I wasn't even around for that full year, but I can tell you for a fact that it was too much. So, new expansion at BlizzCon 2015, I think, at least. But that would mean that they'd have to get all their content patches out before then, so that they don't have to focus on those at BlizzCon. Would be cool, okay? I think it would be very cool, and I'd love to hear what you guys have to say about all the stuff that I discussed, all the new features for 6.1, all the stuff that's already happened, your time in World of Warcraft right now. I'm having fun, okay? I'm not so happy that they keep nerfing monks. Not so happy about that. Monks in PvP are a mess right now. None of the specs are really viable. I suppose Mistweaver is actually okay, but the two damaging specs, Brewmaster and Windwalker, are not fun in PvP at all. I can't, it feels like I'm tickling my opponents. Little tickle, tickle, tickle. Hey, tickle, tickle, tickle. And they're like, no, stop that. And then they just smack me away and I die. That's what PvP feels like to me right now. Anyway, that's what's up. That's what's coming. Please, tell me what you think. Check back here soon for more. Give it a like, share it, and do all that other good stuff. The Tales of Lumin episodes should be coming fast and furious now. Kind of excited to get back to them because our power, our electricity situation is a little more stable. So there you go. Discussing that in another video though. I'm done. Again, check back here soon for more. Give it a like, share it, and do all that other good stuff. Most importantly though, happy World of WarCraft patch 6.1 and everything coming with it. Happy that.